Okay, in these videos, we're talking about the English language as a technology. And in particular, right now, we're going to talk about parts of speech. And in any technology, it's always useful to know what materials you have to work with. And it's useful to group those materials that you have to work with in ways that you can characterize them and know how to use them. And English is no different. And we call those groups, and we call the material that we're working with our words. That's the smallest unit of grammar. And the classifications that we divide them up to, or we call the parts of speech. So let's dive right in. Nouns. Nouns, this is an easy one. Nouns are naming words. Computer. Program, they don't have to be something physical. Program. Building. Okay, love. It can be very big things, a star. They can be very small things, an electron. Okay? If we can think of it and name it, then that name is a noun. Noun is a noun. Okay? So, now related to the nouns, and the nouns is the biggest group and it's the fastest changing group. We're always adding new nouns and dropping old nouns. Okay, but related to the nouns, we have the pronouns. And this is a smaller group and doesn't change very often. I, we, you, this, that, who, and this is not a complete list, but these words can be used in place of other nouns. The computer is broken. It is broken. It would replace computer. It is a pronoun. Okay, so we'll kind of bracket those together. Now, the next group, which is the second largest group of words, are the verbs. And the verbs provide the energy in the sentence. So write or read. But also words like have, okay, and become, and allow. And probably the most common verb, but it's sometimes it's kind of hard to see the action or the energy in it, is. So Bill is a programmer, okay, but it provides the energy in that sentence. Now, let's go on. Oh, I know. We'll do the adjectives next. Adjective. Okay, and I'm going to break the adjectives in two, which is kind of normal practice nowadays. But so we're going to start with the adjectives that answer the question, what kind of? And when you read books now, they kind of, when they talk about adjectives, they're talking about the what we used to call descriptive adjectives that answer the question, what kind of? And this is a very large group, and it changes pretty quickly. But the adjectives describe nouns. They describe what kind of. So what kind of computer? A big computer, an old computer. What kind of program? A complicated program. Okay. But they can describe states of emotions, happy, expensive, costs. I mean, there are a lot of adjectives. Okay. Now, the next group, and this is a smaller group, are the determiners. And determiners answer the questions which one or how many. Okay? And there are words like the, which one, the computer, my computer, this computer, that computer. How many? Some computers. 30 computers. Or the first computer. Okay? So the, my, this, that all describe which one. Some, 30 describe how many. And first, again, describes which one. Okay? And that's kind of the difference between the ordinal and the cardinal number, or the cardinal and the ordinal numbers. The cardinal numbers describe how many, and the ordinal numbers describe which one. The determiners. And now I'm going to put these again. I'm going to put these together. When I was growing up, these were all considered adjectives, and these were considered descriptive adjectives, and these were called limiting adjectives. Okay, so, but a lot of books now split them up because there are differences in the way they're used. So I'll make them both green, but I'll make them 2 different shades of green. Okay, adverbs. Okay, adjectives and determiners describe nouns. Adverbs describe everything else, and they're kind of modify everything else. So, was it big? No, it was very big. Okay, was it old? It was very old. It was very complicated. He's very happy. That is very expensive. Here's one that modifies principally verbs. So, I read. I do not read. Okay. Not is in there to show negation. But you can also have kind of more traditional, he read loudly. Okay. He ran, I don't have that up there, but he ran quickly. Okay, these are adverbs. Prepositions. Prepositions show relationships. Okay? And they can be spatial relationships, above, behind. They can be directional, to, from. They can be time, before, after. And they can be of, shows possession, a relationship of possession, or by, a relationship of attribution. It was done by John. It was fixed by John. So, and then finally the last one here. All of these first nouns, pronouns. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot one more, because we need these in a sense. If we have 2 or more parts, 2 or more nouns, 2 or more adjectives, 2 or more phrases or clauses or even sentences, we can combine them with conjunctions. So these are the glue, kind of the glue words, which is an oversimplification, but for our purposes. So this is and, or, but, that, if, okay, when. These are all conjunctions. Okay, and then finally, the last one that I was going to jump to are interjections, and where these 8 are all based on how they function in a sentence, interjections are words that don't function in a sentence. So, ouch, aw, wow, and for our Canadian friends, a. Okay. So these words are kind of the leftovers after these are all the words that function in a sentence, and then these are the ones that are left over. We won't spend much time talking about them because in grammar we're talking about building sentences. So we'll talk a little bit about them, but not much. Okay, before I leave, want to make one point, and then I'll summarize. You may have noticed that was listed with the pronouns, that was listed with the determiners, and that was listed with the conjunctions. Okay? Just because a word is a noun doesn't mean it can't be used as a verb. Certain verbs function as nouns, certain verbs function as adjectives, and you go in the dictionary and they'll actually have they'll have a definition under each of the different parts of speech that it can be used as. So it is very common for words to be used as more than one part of speech. Okay, and that is a very good example. That, these are all, they may spell the same, they may have similar meanings, but they are different. They function differently in the sentence. Okay, with that, do a quick summary. Nouns are naming words. Pronouns are words that can replace nouns. Verbs are the action words or the energy words, and I put action in parentheses. Okay, adjectives describe what kind of, describe nouns, answer the question what kind of. Determiners describe nouns, they answer the questions which one or how many. Adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, other adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions. Prepositions give us relationships. Conjunctions are the glue words that kind of stick different parts of other words together, or other phrases together. And then interjections are all those that kind of fall out and aren't really used in writing sentences. With that, I will stop here and go make another video.